Warning: the following video might contain moments that might be too disturbing for some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. When I was younger, the job that I had wanted for so long was game development. My parents shamed me for it. They wanted me in their eyes to get a good job, but I had told them this was my passion, my dream, but I didn't care. They kicked me out when I was 16. I was left with no money, house, or loving parents. That's how I finally began to enjoy video games. Not just for the coding aspect, but the actual work itself. It's a form of art. At least, I thought it was. When I was first kicked out, I moved in with my friend, Jacob. He loved, and I mean loved, the Super Mario franchise. I never saw the appeal of some stupid, red, fat Italian plumber saving a princess. I was one of those weird kids who enjoy story games more than any other. Jacob tried to show me his massive collection of games, but I didn't care. I just wanted a place to live. He kept trying to get this one game he found on eBay. Hotel Mario. That's a stupid freaking name of this god-awful game in my eyes. It was a game made just for the money. It was a game with no thought into it. Zero chance of getting popular. But I was wrong. There was a massive cult-like following for a certain version of the game, which is supposedly better than the original CDI version. I was intrigued. How could a horrible Rush game have a better version? I thought to myself. This seemed like a time waster, but Jacob didn't care. He just wanted this version to show off. He kept trying to win it in auctions, eBay, Amazon, you name it. He tried and failed. It was almost instantly sold out. I had told him not to waste valuable money on something like this, otherwise we'd both be kicked out. Surprisingly, he managed to convince me to put some money in for another auction. He said he would eventually pay me double if we had win. Somehow we did. Nobody else had bidded on this version. Is this version of another version? That's really freaking weird. Doesn't seem too practical neither, but hey, as long as we got a version of that stupid game, he finally shut up about it. When it got here a few days later, it was a Friday, and we were home from school. No homework, just a weekend. We opened the dreaded box. It was a case wrapped around in plastic. When we opened it up, it was different, as far as I remember. Hotel Mario never came in the usual case, as we see nowadays. It was more of a modern version of a case, which I guess could make sense for a version so goddamn popular like this. We put the disc into his PC, hoping, praying, at least on his end, that it worked. I didn't care if it couldn't work. I was just hoping his PC didn't catch on fire. After almost a minute of loading, a window opened up on the monitor screen. It was labeled Hotel Mario, the Forbidden Hotel. He's like a weirdly ominous title for a company like Nintendo, but I shrug it off since Nintendo was doing stuff like this in the past. Jacob, on the other hand, was already scared. He was afraid we got the wrong version of the game. I told him not to worry as well. It's a bootleg. At least I hope it was. The CDI intro did play, but we expected as much from a game like this. I feel like, looking back on this moment, before it all crumbled, it must have been messing with us, making it seem heartful and official, before delving into the madness it truly was. The game finally started with the usual intro cutscene, but the weird thing is, it was only Mario. Hell, not even Bowser appeared. It was just Mario walking. He seemed to have a weirdly sad look on his face. Maybe the princess was captured again? I had many questions. It was only the first 30 seconds of the game. Mario peeled off the note on the wall. It read as follows. Dear pesky plumbers, the Koopalings and I have finally taken over the Mushroom Kingdom, as well as your little princess. But I must warn you, Mario, do not further through this path. It is forbidden. I myself can't even go through it. This is your only warning, plumber boy. Turn back and accept the fate of this crippling kingdom. Maybe it won't go after you, but I can't really keep a promise. Bah ha ha ha. Bowser, king of the scarred Koopas. That's quite strange. Why would Bowser himself tell Mario to turn back? Is there a greater threat than him? That sounds like the most probable answer, at least. What could I think of at the time? Mario, of course, thinking this was a ruse, did not listen. He tossed the note to the ground and continued forward. Past the multiple warning signs, I noticed, as Mario kept trotting forward, his face slightly distorted more and more with each step. The screen was also glitching. After we couldn't make out anything, we could hear Mario softly crying. Why did it start now? Was he waiting for us to not see him anymore? Thankfully, the level had started before things could get any worse. So that was Hotel Mario, the Forbidden Hotel, a Mario themed creepypasta, and it's kind of good, but it just ends abruptly before it gets getting good. Like the letter message of that Mario read is kind of pretty interestingly creepy. With the whole mention about the Forbidden Hotel, and the protagonist's backstory is actually pretty interesting, but quite tragic in a sense. It's always hard to like trying to like move to a different place after you just like kick out of your family's place, and also this is kind of like didn't have like any typical cliche creepypasta stuff besides the whole like someone that person that order it from eBay or Amazon. Well, there is just like wanted for like a bidding thing, and there's no other cliches like hyper-realistic blood and the characters get a little bit quirky and having red glowing eyes, even for it wasn't mentioned in the story. But besides, like I saw this image of Mario just staring at you, like that's kind of creepy. He looks like a sleep paralyzed demon by that image. So yeah. So the creepypasta is pretty good, but I wish it could have been longer since it just ended rather abruptly. Since before it gets rather good. Since I just hope someday someone's like just like rewritten this creepypasta where it's pretty much like just a whole story without abrupt ending. So that could be good if it happens someday. So yeah. Anyways, I just hope you guys enjoy my creepypasta reading on Hotel Mario, the Forbidden Hotel. So, like and comment video, and subscribe more content. So, this is Mr. Freddy here, and I hope you have a very good day. So, bye!